Welcome to American Dream TV. I am your host, Carol Bertelick, and today we're out on Manasota Key, where we had two direct hits from Hurricane Helene and Milton. They say it's been 100 years since they ever had a direct hit like this. So come join me to see how far we've come since then. Manasota Key is home to many well-to-do residents, including musicians Tim McGraw, Bobby Vinton, and late Donna Summer. You have seen all the devastation on the news. Most of our barrier islands got pounded by these two horrific hurricanes. I would like to share all the good news of the revitalization and how the community has come together in just a few months to bring our area back stronger and better than before. I'm here with Ashley. She's the event and catering manager. And I would like to ask you, Ashley, what was going through your mind at the time that we're about to get two direct hits, first Helene and then Milton?
Yeah, I grew up on this island. My family lives just down the street. So my whole life is on this key, my job, my childhood home. And when we saw the first one coming, we've been in this position before where we think we're gonna get hit. And everybody's like, it's okay, it's not going to happen to us. And then it did. And then I think everyone really took Milton seriously because we saw what Helene had just done not even 2 weeks before. So I think a lot of people left and they were scared of what we were going to come back to. The owners of our restaurants, they were about to lose everything because all their businesses are on the water and they employ 300 people. And it was like, what are we going to do for work? What are they going to do? This is their livelihood. They've put decades into these businesses and people were really nervous.
So what has transpired since then after Hurricane Helene and Milton?
So when we were able to get back on the island, just seeing the devastation, our company owns the marina that was there and it's now a flat slab. So it was scary, it was really defeating. The cleanup had begun on the Key. People had already started to gut their homes and clean out their businesses, and then we just had to do it again. So I think the people here were just feeling very defeated. But the great thing about Inglewood is when Inglewood is hurting, Inglewood rallies to help each other. And without a beat, people were coming to our owners saying, what can we do to help? Because they knew all their businesses are on this island. And if they had a restaurant or a business on the mainland, they wanted to help. So we started this spot fund, put it out to the community. It went, to other states because of our snowbird population here. They took it to their states up north and out west, and we, between the cocktail drink at the two restaurants and our spot fund, we raised over $200,000.
It's amazing.
And it went to the staff. It didn't go to the rebuild. It went to the friendly bartenders and the staff that clean and the kitchen staff and just our people. We wanted to take care of them because everyone was out of work, and we wanted them to know we're behind you and we're gonna come back stronger than ever.
Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your story.
Of course, thank you for having us.
Hi, we're here today with Jay Garstecki with Operation Healing Heroes. He happens to be a neighbor of mine as well, and I would love for you to tell everyone about your foundation.
Yeah, so Operation Healing Heroes Foundation is a nonprofit where we document the lives of our U.S. military veterans and Gold Star families. So each episode, it's a TV show on Discovery Channel and several other networks where we talk about their lives. So what was life like growing up? What led them into the military? What was military life like? And then what's life like after the military? We want to capture stories at the individual level to hear about the sacrifices and services that these individuals made for our freedom. So
that's so awesome.
Such an honor.
And how were you instrumental in these last two hurricanes that we experienced? I know I was part of it with you, but I would love for you to share the story.
First of all, thank you for volunteering to help us, right? So when these hurricanes came through, my wife and I looked at each other when it was over and we said, what can we do to help, right? How do we help these poor people that lost everything? At that point, I contacted the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office and I said, we're a nonprofit. We help our U.S. military veterans, but we like to just help people, right? In their time of need. And so they put us in touch with several different organizations, and long story short, they put us in in touch with an organization who allowed us to go out and clean houses after the hurricane. And that's where you come into the picture, was that I made a post on Facebook and I said, hey, listen, Beach Walk community people, we're a nonprofit and we want to just go out and help our fellow neighbors.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me and letting us share our story.
Our friends bought a home out here on the island and it ended up getting hit twice with the hurricanes. They had water to the roof, but they rebuilt and recovered amazingly. Thank you again for joining us here at Manasota Key. Again, to recap, we met with the Manasota Key group, as well as Jay Garstecki with his foundation. And I welcome you to join us on the next episode. I'm Carol Bertelick, your host on American Dream TV.